It just doesn't make sense.
Like logistically, I can't even figure it out. Maybe they had a cyanide capsule in their mouth and they like.
That's what I'm thinking. Like they were able
slipped
to
it to somebody somehow.
Like I don't know, like put it in someone's drink.
Right.
Like I don't know.
Like that. Okay, that's murder. I get.
Oh,
that.
let's listen to it. There's a fucking video right here.
Now to a bizarre story out of Charles County. Police now investigating after a professional cornhole player with no hands and no legs is accused of firing a deadly shot all while driving. We want to get out to our Homa Bash. She is live in La Plata this evening with more details.
Angie, bizarre to say the least, but before we get any further into the story, I just want to try to answer the question that so many people have right now. How did someone with no arms, no hands, manage to fire a gun and allegedly kill someone?
It's early in the investigation, but there is no evidence at this point to suggest anybody else was involved in the shooting, and that he acted alone on this.
Now watch closely. You're looking at the man accused of murder in this case. Video from his TikTok page titled "No Hands, No Feet, Shooting 9mm Handgun." His name is Dayton James Weber, a 27-year-old quadriplegic amputee and professional cornhole player. This all started around 10:30 last night when La Plata police officers were flagged down by two witnesses near Radio Station Road. He shot and killed his front seat passenger, then asked those in the back seat to help get rid of the body. They refused, got out of the car, and alerted police. Weber took off with the victim in the car, identified as 27-year-old Bradrick Wells. 2 hours later, about 15 miles away, Maryland. Soon after, Weber's car was tracked to a gas station in Charlottesville, Virginia. He was found at a hospital nearby and arrested after his release.
Witnesses helping really gave us a good start, obviously, and then it was excellent police work with not only our detectives and La Plata Police, but also the authorities in Virginia.
Now, we're told that all four men in that Tesla SUV were friends, got into some sort of argument before that shooting happened. As you heard, Weber is currently in Virginia. He's going to be extradited back here to Charles County to face charges of first and second-degree murder. Guys?
Wow. Good job, fella.
Yeah, you have to be, impressed.
I'm glad they showed that footage of him shooting, because no one how can they show this?
So many questions, so little time, you know what I mean? Oh, fuck me in the rear. Not really.
Brazilian's going to where he does the canela thing and he'll sleep on my chest at night.
Aww.
That's crazy.
Like completely spreads out.
I'm Atra El-Nashar in Washington. Oil prices cooling Monday on news from President Trump that his administration is in talks with Iran, delaying the president's ultimatum for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Top Iranian officials, however, say no such talks have occurred.
Conflicting messages out of Washington and Tehran Monday. It began with this social media post from President Trump saying the U.S. and Iran have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. On Saturday, Trump gave Iran a Monday night deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a vital passageway for oil, or he'd begin striking Iranian power plants. Now, Trump postponing strikes for 5 days, subject to ongoing talks.
And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Iran says there have been no talks, and there won't be. Its Foreign Affairs Ministry tells state media the U.S. president's statements are within the framework of efforts to reduce energy prices and gain time to implement his military plans. There are initiatives by regional countries to de-escalate tensions, and our response to all of them is clear. We are not the party that started this war, and all these requests should be referred to Washington.
We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement. Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces.
Who is the Trump administration communicating with? Trump says it's not the new supreme leader.
We're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader.
That's one of the things we'll learn in these dialogues. Who is in power? Are they in power? How is it working?
Energy Secretary Chris Wright says they won't accept an outcome in which Iran can still control the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian officials who say the two sides are not talking, sticking to their own hardline objectives. The Speaker of Iran's parliament says, "Our people demand the complete and humiliating punishment of the aggressors. All officials stand firmly behind their leader and people until this goal is achieved."
Iran's National Defense Council says coordinating with Iran is the only way to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and now threatens to lay naval mines along maritime trade routes beyond the Strait of Hormuz if Iranian coasts or islands are attacked. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Which I'm really missing. We found some clothing in the US that Beck wanted to shoot in, but I wanted to go a couple of steps further with this. So I've just set up a very simple light. It's basically just an octabox. I've put Beck against a wall so she could lean on it, so she's not standing out in the middle of nowhere, as she keeps telling me. I want to just take some really pretty shots. And the reason being is, commercially, I shoot a lot of colour, but nearly everything I do on Inspire and other platforms is black and white because I'm known for my black and white. But I think it's time for me to show you my skills with colour. I don't use other people's plugins, I don't use their looks, I don't use any of their action sets or things like that, which a lot of people do tend to use. I shoot my colour exactly like I shoot my black and white. I build my picture right from the start, what I feel it needs, not what somebody else's look looks like. So I've just got a very broad range of shots up here, but most of them are just nice, pretty shots, and there's a mixture of colour in there as well. We're going to do a few different looks today, and I've done a couple of setup shots. You'll see just a couple. I tried a different couple of lights and I decided to finish up on the softbox, bounced off this wall over here just to fill back in nicely on Beck. So all my settings are set up. I'm at my normal sort of settings, except I'm at 6.3. I didn't want to push the light too much higher than that. So I was happy with that. So I'm just going to come in and see, make sure Beck's on her dot, make sure I'm happy with what I'm getting. Cool. Yeah, I'm liking that. Just double check my overexposure. Yeah, so within a third of a stop, it's going off on her face. So everything's pretty much exactly what I want. Thing I might quickly do now, so I'm happy with my exposure, I might just set up my look very quickly. Like, this is really nice, but I want to sort of punch it a little bit more, make it a bit more contrast, just do some of my stuff on it. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to just get my slightly chrominess into her skin. You'll see it's changed to skin very orange, But if I lift up my shadows, see how it pulls that orange back out of the skin? I use my shadows to balance, because when you put contrast on, you'll tend to saturate the picture. So I'm going to take this a little bit too far, because what I'm going to do is bring in some contrast now to put that colour back in the skin and get me the punch I want. What I might do too is I can pull a little bit of clarity. I'm not going to put a massive amount on, just going to put a little bit more to get sort of a different type of contrasty punch. All I'm doing is just see how I can vary my skin colouring. Now, I'm really, really lucky because Beck, I didn't know she was planning this today, but she decided to put a tan on today, which does even out skin tones. I would recommend, if you are going to be shooting people, the women especially, because they tend to change colour down their arms. They tend to start off nice and sort of yellow in colour. By the time they get to their fingertips, they're blue or purple. Same with their legs. Just by getting to do a tan, it can only be just a slight tan, can fix a lot of your problems. Do I need to get a little bit more, just get some more detail in that hair so I can punch a touch more contrast. Oh, sticky beak, do you like? You sure now? Beck's peeking over my shoulder because Peter's shooting me in colour. This is special. Just so you know, the reason I came about this is when I was away, I was speaking to a magazine and he just sort of made the point that he really likes my work, but he said that colour just sells so much better with a lot of people who aren't photographers. The one thing I will do, so once I've got that locked in, I'm just going to save that so it's locked in. If I change this to black and white, and if I just make it, say, my green channel, you'll see this is still giving me my look. So everything I've done is still being consistent with the type of feel I want. The only thing I didn't play around was the colour balance. I might just see what, I don't want to make it too yellow, I don't want to make it too green. Now the trick is because I saved my settings before, if I'm not happy with this program, I can just click off them and click back on them. Now I did play around before. What did I do on that picture? Well, I think I like that colour toning better. Yes. Yeah, I was playing around before. I think I like that. That's a different play. Right, so I might just take a shot. Whatever's on the screen when I take a picture will be applied to my next photo. So, cool, that's really pretty. So now what I can do is look at my one that I just built a minute ago. No, I definitely like that better. Except she's a fraction going over, so, or it's not really going over, I've got plenty of headroom, but just for my safety, I'll pull that back a fraction. All right, now I've got that, and Beck's seen it, and I think she likes it. So you saw my mood board, didn't you?
Briefly.
Just that sort of pretty soft, like just pretty soft pictures. Make sense?
Yeah.
You get the feel? I know they're all over the place, but that's the sort of green. See, I do like the green in it. I'm not going to do it if that's this. That's a me thing. Now, there's one thing that bugs me, but I'm just going to retouch it out later. That's a little dent in my whiteboard down there. I tried to find a whiteboard that didn't have a dent, and I didn't, so I'll just put up with that. The lighting was easy. Lighting is easy. It's really easy to make lighting hard. It's really hard to make lighting easy. Cool. Just by using one light only, cool, you take away most of your problems. Do you want to shuffle back a tiny bit? No, backwards. Just see that white dot, just toes about there, just try that. Because I just don't know why the power went, the volumes went up a little bit, but that fixed it, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to just recrop, and again, when you've been doing workshops a lot, we spent 5 weeks doing workshops, I tend to listen, I don't know why, but I do listen to myself a little bit on the workshops. And more, I realise that my normal work is finishing the picture in my camera as close as I can. So I just want to get my crop a little bit closer to where I wanted it, which is that. I'm liking everything about that. So now I've got my lighting right, I've got my camera settings right, my post has been done. Now I'm going to need to get the model to be amazing. Cool. Now, oh, that's a bit pretty. So now I'm going to give Beck about 5 minutes for her just to get into her mood. That's really pretty, that's really pretty. While we're away, we did shoot a couple of times, and I know, I think she listens to me too much when training models, because I seeing her do more and more getting out of her comfort zone with facial expressions now, which I love. It's so hard. It's that thing called, because Beck and I work together all the time, and I shit stir her like crazy. She's not going to easily get out of her comfort zone as much in case I stir shit on her. Am I right? Yeah. But I saw you starting to do it when we were in a couple of shoots, especially in Miami. That's Beck's favourite city in the world. Cool. That and that little bit we did in our second favourite city in the world, Paris. Sorry, we just didn't feel very comfortable in Dallas. Every time we walked outside our apartment, we felt like we were going to get killed. These are really pretty bad parts. Not expecting you to jump straight away, get the new music, but I want you, that's the hot way I got you against the wall, so you can really just... She knows what I mean. We watched the Victoria's Secret show and she saw the difference from a model that really worked. Cool. Like Candace was like amazing. Just the way she worked down there. Do you like? Sure? Positive? Some of these are pretty. Is that comfortable leaning against the wall?
A little bit.
You've said it yourself, it's hard to just stand out in the middle of nowhere and give beautiful emotions. I suggest to all photographers they should try this.